Hey there, and welcome. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a piece of technology you use literally every single day, probably dozens of times a day, and you might not even know it exists. We are talking about the API.
I mean, really think about it for a second. How does your favorite weather app know it's going to rain in exactly 10 minutes? Or how does a travel site magically pull up flight options from a dozen different airlines all at once? How do all these completely separate apps and services talk to each other so perfectly?
Well, it definitely feels like magic, right? But the answer is actually pretty simple. It's a three-letter acronym that is secretly running our entire digital world. API.
All right, so let's just jump right in. What on earth is an API? And what does it do? The easiest way to wrap your head around it is to think of it as a kind of secret messenger. Now, the full name sounds super technical. Application Programming Interface. But don't let that scare you. All it really means is that it's a set of rules, a standard way, for different computer programs to have a conversation with each other.
Yeah, it's kind of like a universal translator. It lets one app, which speaks its own unique computer language, totally understand what another app is saying, so they can swap information back and forth.
But honestly, the best way to get this is with an analogy that we can all relate to. So let's imagine the API is a waiter, but, in a digital restaurant.
So picture this. You're the customer and you're using an app. That's like sitting at a table with a menu. Now, you don't just get up and walk into the kitchen to make your own food, right? Of course not. You give your order, your request, to the waiter. Well, that waiter, that's the API. The waiter takes your specific order to the kitchen, which is the server where all the good stuff is. The kitchen prepares your dish, and then the waiter brings it right back to you, the data you wanted. It's the perfect middleman. And that's the key thing to remember. The API is just the messenger. It doesn't cook the food, it doesn't own the kitchen, it just takes a request, tells the system what you want, and then brings the response right back to you. That's it.
And these digital waiters are absolutely everywhere. When you search for flights and see results from 5 different airlines, that's 5 different APIs, all reporting back. Your weather app, it's using an API to get data from a meteorological service. Food delivery apps, real estate sites, they all use APIs to show you menus and property listings. Even fun things, like fan projects built around Pokemon or video game stats. You guessed it, they're using APIs too.
Okay, so we get it. They're super useful for fetching data. But the reason APIs are such a huge deal goes way deeper than just making our apps work smoothly. They're actually changing how businesses and even our society functions.
I mean, for businesses, the benefits are just massive. They save a ton of time by automating things. Instead of having a person type the same information into 3 different computer systems, an API just does it instantly. And that, of course, cuts down on human error. It also lets different companies work together securely. But the coolest part? It fuels innovation. A developer can grab an API for maps, another one for restaurant reviews, and a third for ride-sharing, and boom, they can mash them together to create a brand new service.
But really, efficiency is just one part of the story. The biggest, most revolutionary idea behind APIs is about something way more personal. It's about your data and who gets to be in control of it.
Okay, now this diagram might look a little complicated, but don't worry about the details. Let's just focus on the big picture. It shows 3 ways our data can be structured. At the top, well, that's just chaos. The middle one is pretty much how things work today. A few giant companies, the Googles, the Metas, they're at the center and all our information flows through them. But the one at the bottom, that's the exciting one. That's a new model that APIs make possible, where you are at the center of your own universe, controlling how your information gets shared. You become the hub. And this idea, putting you in control, it completely reimagines the future of our personal information. It puts you squarely in the driver's seat. The World Economic Forum actually called personal data a new economic asset. Think about that. If your data is a valuable resource, almost like money, shouldn't you be the one who gets to decide how it's spent? In this new API-powered world, you manage your data just like you manage your bank account. You get to decide who sees it, for how long, and for what specific reason. It's your data, your rules, end of story.
And what this all leads to is something people are calling the API economy. It's this amazing ecosystem where it's not just the huge tech giants who get to innovate. Small startups, government agencies, big companies, they can all plug into each other's services and build new things together. It creates a level playing field where everyone can communicate securely through these digital messengers.
So, we'll leave you with this one thought. We know now that APIs are the messengers, carrying our most personal information all across the digital world. The really big question we all need to start asking is who should get to decide what's written inside that message?